Hey guys, Tom again with Velocity here, back for our YouTube channel. Been a little bit of a hiatus, we've not been able to make as many videos. We've had loads of really exciting stuff going on at the shop, which we can't wait to talk to you about. But today we are back in the showroom to talk around an awesome resto mod Bronco. This one, finished in Apple Green, is already sold. It is a customer vehicle. This one's actually going up in the northeast to New York, but it's got a few special things on it that we wanted to talk about and use it as an opportunity to showcase a Velocity Bronco. All right, let's start with the paint color, and this is an immaculate apple green metallic. It's a super deep, actually the color's lighter, but the metallic is really, really deep, metallic flake. It's a light green, really, really pretty, and we've done a couple of these before. I think I've seen this color once or twice, and the customer actually picked this from our configurator, which you can go online on the website. It turned out really nicely, especially with the hardtop. It looks fantastic. This color in New York City, called the Big Apple, maybe that makes sense. It looks fantastic. Let's go around the front of the truck and talk through these specs that are on here. So first thing you're going to notice is this is a true first generation Bronco. It isn't a reproduction or recreation, so it's got all of the normal body lines, the normal sizing that you would see on a 66 to 77 Bronco. The same thing with the grille. So this is a standard first generation grille finished in that apple green, which looks fantastic. We do have the Ford lettering on the front with the red gel inserts, F-O-R-D of course. And for headlights on this truck, we've done the Holley Retro Bright. These are an LED lamp, so they are new technology, but they look old like the old halogen lamps. They're really cool. They're also really durable, as well as being really, really bright, hence the name Retro Bright. The final thing that I want to talk about, and that's different on this truck, is this big front bumper. You could call it a nudge bar or a bull bar, as I would have said back home, but a really cool addition that we very rarely do. It is actually a specable item. It is on our contracts, it is on our configurator, and typically we see this bar, we see it on blacked out trucks, so darker trucks, one that's look a bit more aggressive, a little bit more of a street style truck. However, in this application, it actually came out really, really nicely. With the hardtop, it just makes the truck, in my opinion, look a little bit more complete, and it has this additional LED light bar as well, which is controlled from the inside of the cabin too, which is nice when you're driving in the dark. If the customer does take it to upstate New York where there's less street lamps and things like that, that's a really, really nice option for high beam. We'll walk down the side of the vehicle next and talk through some of these specs. First thing I'm going to talk about, as always, is going to be the wheels. Those are the bullet hole style chrome wheels, very popular. They come as standard on all of our vehicles and they look fantastic. Incredibly popular option with a lot of our customers. We do have a couple of different rim choices that you can do, but this is by far the most popular. One thing that you don't always see on this trucks, but they do look really good with the hardtop, is going to be this beltline trim. It's an extra piece of chrome trim. It was actually a factory fit option that you could get from Ford back when they were making these Broncos, and it looks really nice when you have a solid color like this, when it's all the way through. It doesn't have a Ranger package or any sort of other breakup. With the hardtop, it could look a little bit overbearing, overpowering if you didn't have that trim, but the trim just gives a really nice breakup to the side of the truck. Another really nice option that this customer did is going to be our billet component. So side mirrors, door handle, nice upgrade. These look really, really good, but they also feel good. They're very operational, feel just much more sturdy, really easy to actuate, really, really nice piece of kit. This actually vibrates less than the OEM side mirror as well. So not just looks, but also function. Come down the side of the vehicle, and big function change is going to be this hardtop. We get asked all the time, Tom, are the hardtops removable? Yes, they are. So you could fully remove this hardtop. Really, you need somewhere to put it. That's what you've got to consider. This thing's a big piece of kit, but you can remove it. We custom make these hardtops in-house. So they're not bought just and thrown on. They're actually custom fit to each Bronco to ensure perfect fitment so that you don't get water ingress and leaks and air noise and things like that. Customer opted for this. We know that she will take it off. We believe she'll take it off in the summer, but they've got it all year round. Of course, again, in New York, you've got all seasons, so you're going to want that extra protection as well. Inside there is a 6-point cage, and to answer another question, yes, the hardtop does fit over the 6-point cage, so you still get the family protection, you still get all of that good stuff, but it's underneath the hardtop, and then when you remove it, you've got the safari top above, which will show you where that goes later on in the video. Coming around to the back of the truck then, and a couple of other things I want to touch on here. The tailgate. You do have that beltline trim like we saw on the side coming all the way down the vehicle, and to match the front bumper, you've got a big rear bumper as well. Again, custom made in-house by the guys here. This looks really nice. Also acts as a step if you ever need to step up into anything. Really, really premium piece of kit. Let me just show you the load area here. We'll start by opening up the back of the hardtop and then lowering the tailgate. and give you the first sneak preview of the interior. Really nice interior in this one. The back of the tailgate has been wrapped to line. This is a product by a company called U-POL. It's really, really nice. It's like a truck bed liner. It helps with heat, vibration, noise dampening, but most of all, it protects from scratches. So you can just throw things in the back. Everywhere that's not painted in that apple green metallic paint is going to have this material on it for protection, both top side and underside. So that's really nice. Get the first flash of the interior floor panels here as well. Really cool bit of kit. These are bamboo weave, synthetic bamboo fiber, and put in. They're super durable and also removable, so you can pull that out and power wash it down if you need to. We've talked about the exterior of the vehicle. We're going to talk about the driveline in a second, but let's take a sneak peek at the interior really quickly. Let me open the door up for you. Let's start by talking around the material inside this truck. We use the door panel for a little bit of a description. This is an upgrade. It's a leather, a very, very premium option. Normally with a Velocity Bronco, you get a marine grade vinyl, which is nice when the vehicle doesn't have a top and it's for all weather usage. But when you do enclose the top, it's then nice to have leather. And so this is really, really cool. It is a middle sort of browny tan. It's actually called Shoreline, this color. It looks great, and actually it smells great. I always talk about this. You can never smell through the camera, obviously, but you can smell the interior just by standing here. That really fine leather smell is brilliant. On the exterior of the vehicle, we did the billet option, and on the interior of the vehicle, we did the billet option as well. So billet for the door cups and for your window regulator. Of course, that's an electric window, not a manual crank. It just looks like one. Both of these are really good upgrades if you're going to use a vehicle frequently, just because they feel really, really good to use, good to actuate, and they look fantastic as well. For the actual stitch pattern on this truck, and you're going to see it more in a minute, we went with double diamond, and this has a perforated stitch, so it's a bit more breathable and also gives a little bit of touch of class, a bit of luxury inside the cabin. Sitting in the truck is super comfortable because we've got these full high back seats. They do have a headrest and they are adjustable, so I could move this seat backwards and forwards as well as adjust the backrest if I wanted to. In front of me is a wooden rim steering wheel, very classic option. It comes on all of our Broncos. It is a really good looking steering wheel. It has this nice surround, feels easy and good to hold, and of course looks very classic. Behind that again, you've got a tilt steering column by I Did It, so you've got that extra adjustability there. Let's talk about technology really quickly. The instrument cluster, that's by a company called Dakota Digital. We use their products in all of our vehicles, and for good reason. They look classic, but they operate like a new instrument cluster. You'll see a small screen here, it's about 2 inches, and you can actually cycle through this screen to give loads of different details like your live speed, your remaining fuel, pressures, temperatures, all of that good stuff. Another nice to have is the 6-point roll cage this customer opted for. It's an upgrade. We talked about it a little bit before. You can see it here, the front of the vehicle. People often ask me when they want to spec one of these, hey, does it ruin getting in and out of the truck? Because these aftermarket 6-point cages, we don't use aftermarket, but these ones that people do fit sometimes, they can come straight down, meaning you kind of have to climb through them or around them to get in the vehicle. Well, because we make all of our roll cages here, we make them to the truck, you can actually get in much easier because we bend them right here at the knee line so that it doesn't foul getting in and out of the vehicle. So it's still structural, gives you all that extra protection, but it doesn't ruin getting in and out of the truck. Taking a little bit closer look then at this seat, now that you can fully see it, with the leather, it looks absolutely fantastic. I mentioned a minute ago this double diamond perforated stitch. Very classy look, but also functional, allows for a bit of extra breathability in these seats. You will also notice that the customer did opt for heated and ventilated seats with this truck, so spent the extra money for the extra comfort. This will be a daily driver for the customer, and so wanted to have those options too. The perforation, of course, allows the airflow of ventilated seats to operate through there, so very, very good option. Let's talk about center console security, where you put your valuables. This is a locking Tuffy box in the middle. It's topped with this really nice cushion that acts as an armrest, which has been wrapped in the matching leather. And this is functional. It acts as a lockbox. It's fully attached to the bottom of the vehicle. It's not going anywhere, and there is a ton of space in here. Shutting that down, you can actually lock it on the top here, so if you were to leave the vehicle for an extended period of time and you wanted to lock something in there, you could do. The front of this has the controls for the heated seats. It also has the controls for the light bar that I mentioned earlier at the front of the truck, as well as a USB-C and a USB 3.0 charger, so you've got extra technology there. Let's move on now to the transmission tunnel, and yes, for the eagle-eye viewer out there, you've spotted, oh my god, Tom, this one's a manual. When was the last time you guys did a manual? How cool is that? And yes, this is a 6-speed manual. It's a Tremec. We're going to talk about it in a second, but this truck is a manual, and as such, it has a much larger shift boot. You still have 4-wheel drive on this truck. These are for your high and low range there, But here you have a manual. So you've got two columns here. A lot of people ask, hey, these for manual? No, these are your four-wheel drive, but this is truly a manual truck. Let's talk about infotainment and other technology, comfort, things like that in the cabin. The first thing we want to talk about is the air conditioning. This is a full AC system by the guys at Vintage Air. Don't let the name fool you. It is a brand new system designed for this vehicle. Really high power, very good at cooling, as well as heating. It does have heat too, but really nice for all year round. Again, this is going to be a daily driver for the customer, so you want a powerful AC system, and Vintage Air make that. This control here controls your direction, this one your fan speed, and this one your temperature. Very simple, but very effective. Beneath that, we've got a Pioneer double-din touchscreen radio. This is an Apple CarPlay unit, fully Bluetooth. You don't have to plug your phone in or anything like that. And there is actually a screen. You press a button here, or when you fully start the truck over, when the engine turns over, that happens as well. And out comes the screen. You can set up your maps, use all that good stuff, and then when you don't need it, if you've put your Spotify playlist on and it's ready to go, press that button again and it folds away by itself. And another option on this vehicle that you don't see all the time, but again, because it was a manual, we wanted to do this for the customer, you do have a fully electronic parking brake here too. It's this little button, and when you press it, the e-brake locks on, so a separate braking system just for the emergency brake. Electronic parking brake, very, very nice. Press it again, it releases it. Grows great with this manual transmission. Couple other things to note, we've done the dash pad here in that matching leather as well. And I mentioned before, this vehicle does have a 6-point cage with a safari top. You can see it above me because we've got the hard top on for delivery. It's been finished with this lovely suede at the top. This vehicle does come with that safari top. You see these poppers here? That's how the safari top cinches down. So you pop everything in, and that would give the customer extra cover when they take the hard top off for summer usage, keeps them out of the rain, and direct sunlight gives them a bit of shade as well. Right, we've talked about the interior, we've talked about the exterior. Let's get to the good stuff and talk about the driveline. This is a third generation 5-litre Coyote V8, brand new engine from the guys at Ford. Really, really nice crate engine that we use in all of our Ford products. Super powerful, so 460 horsepower, loads of torque at the top end of the revs, but also really easy to maintain. And that's the main thing. What is hard is creating something that's reliable and consistent and is always going to get you home. And this Coyote engine is really easily serviceable. It can actually be serviced by any Ford dealer, even your local one could work on this engine, so that's great. For transmission, we mentioned it while we were going through the interior. This has a 6-speed Tremec Super Magnum transmission, really nice manual transmission. We very rarely get customers opt for that. And honestly, it's easy to see why, because they want these trucks as fun trucks. But I do love it when we do a manual. I love it even more when we do them in the Mustangs, but the Bronco works very, very well. They are really fun to drive. So if you are somebody that would consider driving a manual, don't ever be shied away from it because they are really, really fun. So that's the Tremec. For brakes, we've got a Willwood system. It's a Hydro Booster system all the way around. So disc brakes all around in this vehicle, like in all Velocity vehicles. So you've got all the stopping power as well as the going power. For chassis under this vehicle, we have a brand new Roadster Shop chassis. We partner with the guys at Roadster Shop on all of our upgraded chassis. They work amazingly well. We fit a Bilstein suspension with this chassis system. It's great for on-road, high-speed driving, which is where the majority of our customers are going to use the vehicle, and you want that stability at speed and in the corners, and that's what this chassis and the suspension setup does. This vehicle, like I said, is not available, but we do have lots of vehicles available for immediate delivery in the showroom. You can see behind me and check those out on the website, or go on our configurator on the website. You can do that. The link will be in the description below, and as always, if you do have any questions, leave the comments down there too. We will see you on the next one, and thanks so much for watching.